Generalizing a bit, the history of philosophy may be divided into four eras. The first era is the ancient era. In ancient philosophy, philosophers are generally all trying to do the same thing. And what they're trying to do is figure out how to live a good life. But the method by which they figure it out involves not just ethics, but also metaphysics. They must understand the nature of the universe and the nature of the human beings who are living in it in order to understand the nature of what is right. So, metaphysics first, then ethics. Or at least metaphysics as a means to the end of understanding ethics. Now this is the ancient era in philosophy, and I must also add that the technique, the method, the strategy by which they seek to understand these things is reason. The major characters in ancient philosophy are Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Other important figures are Epicurus, Seneca, and the other Stoics, and Cicero. In the next era, the medieval era, things are almost exactly the same, except for one crucial difference. In the medieval era, philosophers try to figure out how to live a good life by knowing the nature of reality, and they try to do this using reason and faith, and that is the key difference. They consider faith to be a source of knowledge of these things, and not reason alone. The major characters here are, by my estimation, Augustine and Aquinas, but other characters are quite important, and some might rank some of them as higher than Augustine or Aquinas. Here are a few of the names: Boethius, Anselm, Avicenna, Averroes, Al-Ghazali, and Maimonides. Moving on to the modern era. In the modern era, things change rather dramatically. In the modern era, there's a renewed emphasis on epistemology. There's a shift towards trying to figure out what knowledge is, or more generally, trying to figure out what is the right method of gaining knowledge. The modern philosophers try to figure out the right method of gaining knowledge, and then they'll use it to gain knowledge, and they'll use that knowledge to fix up the world the way we want it to be. And science is the primary instrument for fixing up the world. The major characters of early modern philosophy, by my estimation, are Descartes and Kant. But other characters are rather important: Leibniz, Spinoza, Machiavelli, Bacon, Locke, Hume, Berkeley, Rousseau, and others. This modern project led to the fourth era in the history of philosophy, which we could call late modern philosophy, or postmodern philosophy. In postmodern philosophy, philosophers critique the early modern project. They critique the optimistic plans these philosophers had for science. And some major postmodern philosophers include Nietzsche, Kierkegaard, Heidegger, and Wittgenstein.